Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to overcast but comfortable Weston Supermare. So I've just finished work, I'm on my way home, and I just want to go through what I've done to the bike, because I think I may have fixed some of the issues that I had with it. So let's start with the basics. Carried out a service, oil and filter change, new set of plugs, checked out the oil filter, checked out the air filter, blew that out. It actually looked quite new, I don't think it's seen many miles. But then we had to deal with the problems. Now the problems I had were stalling and poor restarting. So what we did to look at those was a little bit of searching on the internet and a lot of help from some guys on the Firestorm forum. I got some information about a Honda rework that was released a long time ago to do with the vent pipes on the carburetors, but that rework hadn't been done to this, so it was always going to be worthwhile a try, which is what I did. And the other thing was to do with the cam chain. I sort of shared a video with them where I had that real bad starting problem when it was warm after it had stalled, and the noise that it made. And someone, I'm really sorry, I can't remember their name, but basically came on and said, just check your cam chain tension, sounds like it might be too tight. Now this has got the manual cam chain tensioners on it, as opposed to the commonly failing automatic cam chain tensioners. And with the manual cam chain tensioners, you tighten it up, you basically should have the top of the engine off to check it, check the tension on the chain, and then you lock it in place. But what he said was, he thinks maybe they've been over tightened, holding the chain tight, so then when it's warm and everything expands, it's basically the starter motor struggling to turn the engine over, which sounds plausible. So I thought I'll check it. I checked the tension and they were over tightened. So I've put them to the setting they should be. The bike now starts better from cold. It starts better from warm. It doesn't stall, which obviously could be a combination of a couple of repairs. Now whether it's running better, I don't know. It certainly runs better on idle. Performance wise, I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but it certainly feels better in all aspects. Not sure why my indicator was still on. Schoolboy error. The other things I've done, when I had the airbox off and the tank off, I noticed that the throttle close cable had snapped. Now although in reality you're not very often going to need it, it's always a good backup, because when these throttles crack open and they stick, if they don't get closed when you want them to close, that's an awful lot of power that you're not going to be able to control. So I've changed that, put a new cable in, and also a couple of very small, they're like foam filters that go in the airbox, and I'll be completely honest, I don't really understand what they're there for, but the forum said they are important, and a very kind gentleman on the forum sent them out to me free of charge. Didn't want any money for postage or the parts themselves, which is awesome. That is true brilliance in every way. So I put those in, and look, I mean, I'm coming down to an idle now. I'm idling at about 1250, which is about right, and it's settled. It's not diving down in the rev range and cutting out like it was. It's not stalling. And what I'll do is when I come to a stop at my home, I will just turn it off, give it a minute, and then try and restart it, which is where I was having the problems on a warm start. But obviously I'll finish the video before that, and I'll just have to let you know if it's worked or not. They do obviously have problems with these older bikes, with carburetted bikes and cars, to do with the fuel changes, with the new E10 fuel. But luckily where I've been going is currently E5, and I've been adding a fuel additive to it just to flush the fuel system as well, and it actually is running really damn well. So that's about it. I'm done. I think it's okay. I think it's working well. I think now it's running well enough to see me through the summer. Fingers crossed anyway. Not easy to do with armoured gloves on, but fingers crossed anyway. And then in the winter I want that opportunity to take it off the road, strip it down and bring it back to former glory, because I absolutely adore this bike. I adore the way it rides, I adore the way it sounds, I adore the way it looks. I think it's got because it's got the bottom fairing on it, and it's quite a nicely designed pyramid plastic bottom fairing. It really does finish the bike off. It gives it that sporty appearance as opposed to a kind of sports tourer all-rounder type look without the fairing on it. But it's awesome. I love it, and I'm going to leave you there. So stay safe, guys. Any changes, I'll update you. But I'll catch you on the flip side.